Hello everybody, welcome along. It's the 6th of December. Let's see what's behind the door today. Oh, we've got a gorgeous Christmas cocktail, a candy cane spritz. Grab your paints and maybe a drink and let's get started. So let's draw a Christmas cocktail slash mocktail. When I was researching this, I came across this marvellous sounding drink called a candy cane spritz. So the key thing is we're going to have a candy cane in it. So I've got a central stem of the glass and two tilting very wide lines, and I'm going to come in and do that little sort of curve, and then I'm going to repeat it on the other side, and then at the bottom I'm going to attempt to repeat it again. So I'll just come in maybe a little bit nearer to the sun, not quite central, is it? And I will just try and do a sort of oval shape around. And now I'm going to put a bow on it because I like the idea of that. It is Christmas after all, so just a sort of fairly narrow bow, and it's coming in there. And then let's have the candy cane just sitting in there. And you can sort of even up that shape. And then I'll have the drink in there, so that's going to be one more of these ovals. And then I thought maybe a few cranberries or something, and a little sprig of rosemary that's going to look a bit like Christmas tree. So there's quite a lot going on there. And yeah, the usual rules apply with the eraser, so we'll just get it ready for painting. But don't forget, you can always pause the video, take a screenshot and use that as your traceable for the painting. I'm going to begin with some of this vibrant green straight out the palette, and this is going to be my ribbon. Again, always leaving just a little bit of unpainted space, give it a little bit of interest, and allows us to really build up layers later on. Also, especially with something like a ribbon, it might be a sort of glossy ribbon, so having a little bit of unpainted space just helps sort of convey that texture. And then I'm going to add a little bit of blue into the green. That's quite a lot of blue. The blue is very strong. Cool. And now, time for the drink itself. So we've obviously got the candy cane that's going to be a red and white, but for the drink itself, I'm going to make it a nice dilute red. And we really don't need much on the brush, so I'm going to paint over the top of the candy cane. I'll leave a tiny bit of unpainted space in the glass. And then over the top of it, on the top, the candy cane will have come through. So that kind of works. And now we just need to let things dry completely, and then we can put in some cranberries, some green rosemary, and the red stripes on the candy cane. So we've got these various bits painted in, but I'm going to do a few little extra things. First thing is I'm going to mix a pale grey for our glass. So it's a bit of the brown and blue, and because it's Christmas, we're going to get some silver in there as well. But it wants to be really nice and diluted and pale like that. And I'm going to paint this on the sort of pencil outline of the glass. Which means when we rub out the pencil, we'll just get this nice line. And so there are times when it's going to come over the top of things. And then a little bit at the back. And I like to just pop in a little bit like that. And then down the stem. Just in the gaps there. Lovely. Now what I want to do with the last little details, I'm going to take a bit of Alizarin Crimson, quite concentrated, and I'm going to add just a little bit to the cranberries, and also just to the edge of the candy cane, and it works really nicely as a shadow. I'm going to let that dry 100%, and then I'm going to do one or two last little details. So the last tiny bit is just using this colour to, and you can see how much the red, it's amazing how it sort of wakes up the other colours again. But I just wanted to get that little bit of shadowy outline, because if you rub out the pencil then you're going to lose sight of where the candy cane is. Anyway, so that is the 6th of December all done. Cheers to you if you've got a drink that looks like that, and I will see you tomorrow for the 7th of December. Bye!